Uh, so John,
Yes.
I forgot that I should include Johan in that my teacher conversation, so I'll do that today.
Okay.
The teacher? You mean like of Dowroc's teacher, or?
Yeah, Dowroc's teacher because
Oh,
he was walking the dog, I think,
oh yeah.
about Dowroc's
He was,
teacher. Oh.
yeah, he was doing something.
Yeah, I don't. That definitely doesn't ring a bell. I mean, I'm sure it's in the recording, but like I haven't gotten through that yet.
Yeah, it's in the recording. Yeah.
The recording, because there's also I don't remember how much, but there were like very slight spoilers in the recording, I think. And we're like, well, by the time that he would listen to them, we would have already been done with this week, so that should be fine. Well, yeah, if you want to recap that now, you can.
Oh, it's Dowroc was talking to Lloyd about um what he thinks. He was asking Lloyd about what he thought about uh, the, the Kingdom of Cornwood, if he's ever been there or anything like that. And then he was telling him that he learned to read the magic because his teacher would show him like the separate elements in the form of like a dance, but not a dance, and that
Interesting.
Lloyd asked him, or if it was Zack asked, what kind of was it, like what kind of person was she, or what kind of race? And I told him it was,
Yeah, he has like the race of her.
Dragonborn. She's Dragonborn, but she's usually aloof. Like she wouldn't. The reason why she is teaching him is that Rock won a boon off of her.
Hmm.
Like personally, not for the. It was for a like an what would they call that? Kind of like a mechanics fair, kind of like where it's kind of Torwood would hold like these like forges, like these contests, and it would be kind of like a mechanics fair in that there's a set, like the heads of the species, like the heads of the groups would be there for the royal thing, and they would offer a boon to the um, like it wasn't like best of the best kind of thing. They would just be like, oh, that's cool. I like they would pick like favorites, like individuals, and then they would offer a boon to that individual, or they would, if it was part of the royal family, offer the boon to the king or the queen. But Dowroc personally got one from his lady Mara. And so when he had his accident, he said that he wanted to cash in his boon
Okay.
and have her teach him magic, or the designs of magic.
All right, that's cool. That's a good backstory. I like that.
I love magic.
I love magic.
And then now this week we've gone to HD as well.
Mm.
I like it.
Hmm.
I said we've gone to HD as well. The updated character images.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, John put them in there like yesterday or this morning or something.
Yeah, I was working off the size I used in the thumbnail art, but I don't know where the original larger scale ones ended up. I have them. They're saved somewhere. I couldn't find them, so I just remade them. It only took a couple hours.
Did you just draw these like on the computer? I guess.
Yeah, I used some
Like just in your.
I used some stock images for like posing references and stuff, but
Gotcha.
Went for like a paper art kind of style, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Unkindness is there too now because he's a member of the
I
party.
saw that too. But Megan's there. She's not with us yet.
Hey,
Yeah, she'll be there soon enough. It's fine.
Unkindness looking like a Corbin.
He does kind of, doesn't he, with the blue and the black and silver. Yeah.
Okay,
Where's oh dang. Crap, what's his name? Crispy.
Well,
Wow. I couldn't remember his name.
Crispy is not there yet. I don't know if I'm going to put him in the art yet, or really until like maybe Arc 2. Just because right now Johan doesn't summon him all the time. It's kind of a secret. This is supposed to be us like traveling, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
well, there's I want to discuss some things if you want.
Yeah.
That's a one thing. Have you guys thought of any kind of theme songs for your character?
For the character or for the whole thing?
Whole character and whole thing. I have a theme song for my art.
I'm real bad at that, so no, not really.
I have not yet. I have a couple things jumbling around, but I don't know 100% yet. What's Arc 2's theme?
It's heathens.
Heathens? Heathens. Who is that by?
Hold on. It's the song that polluted the sound waves when the first Suicide Squad movie came out.
Oh, okay. I think I remember this one. All right, so last time, you guys went down to the wishing well. You got to the very end, and Johan yet again talked kind of down a demon head thing in order to let you guys kind of pass. Lloyd ended up showing his true colors. Shocking. You guys found a ring of wishes with one wish in it, which you used to cure the Slad curse that was affecting the village. And you got teleported outside of the well after it was crushing. And the last thing that was done was you wanted to make your way back to try to find Bryn to make sure she was okay.
Yep.
All right, so Bryn, so you're going back to Silverglade area, which was the ruined town that was the illusion. So just as a quick travel, unless you guys want to specifically travel somewhere else first, or on your way or anything like that.
I'm cool with running there.
Nick, did you want to go anywhere else on your way to Silverglade, or are you just strictly...
No, just trying to see looking over to Zack, see if he was like what Dowroc was at the start of this journey.
Oh, yes. Zack is still disconnected quite a bit. Still in quite a bit of shock and awe about himself and letting Lloyd kind of go, but still kind of coming to terms with it. He's not like comatose or anything like that. He's still like normal acting. It's just you can tell that he's not fully there still. So
Dowroc wanted to trying to apologize to Zack for he knows. I know the anger when the loved one is taken from you.
Zack kind of responds and he says, "Thank you, both of you," and he kind of looks over at Johan too, and he's just like, for a second there, I kind of let the anger inside of me kind of take over, and I almost really couldn't control myself. For the last decade, I was fueled just by vengeance on this one creature, on this one person, and then when I finally come face to face with it, the anger inside of me almost blinded me to it, and made me somebody that I don't really want to be. And he kind of like looks down, and he's like, and ever since we left the well, I felt power kind of leave me. And he's like, I haven't been able to cast anything or do anything paladin related since we've left there.
It's got to be a difficult source of power, vengeance. I can understand. I can definitely understand having something that's inherently destructive kind of fueling you. That's why I worry about my fire so much. Doesn't mean it's always a bad thing to make use of it. I'm just glad it didn't like completely take you.
Yes. Well, and if you guys weren't there, it probably would have.
And I don't know. Maybe we'll eventually discover that would have been a good thing. Maybe we'll eventually realize that giving him a chance to escape was worse than taking this chance to save one village. I don't know, but like, I think we had to take the chance. You know.
We did. We definitely did.
I try to be pragmatic, but you know, I just can't help it when somebody's in trouble. I have to try to do something. It would be so much easier if I could just, you know, go away and ignore it. Most of the things that affect the world outside of the region where I was born, the chance of them actually affecting that place within my lifetime are pretty slim. I could have just gone home. It's difficult. At least I'm somebody who can do something, you know.
Yes. Oh, I know how you feel.
That's why we've got to figure out this mask thing as soon as possible now, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Thankfully, we still have one safely away in our bag. So, the last time we've seen, he had two, but it's kind of odd that he didn't have him with him when he was in the well. So I don't know if maybe something about the well kind of didn't mix well with the mask or something. I don't know.
Maybe he was just worried that since the well intended to test him, if he carried something with such a dark power within, it would just exclude him from the test.
That's a good point. That is probably what it was. We just know the next time we see him, he'll probably have him.
Yeah.
Which it'll be a lot harder to beat that next time.
I think he was there for the same reason we were trying to correct the past.
He did say that. I just don't know whether or not I can trust it.
That was the oddest thing, wasn't it? He didn't seem insincere at all when he said that. He didn't seem insincere with a lot of things he said, frankly. But most of the things he said, he could have been telling us the truth from one angle or another in order to avoid seeming deceptive.
Right. I mean, he could have just said, I just wanted to correct something wrong that I did a while ago. I mean, heck, for all technically truthfully, he could have just been like, I'm sorry I didn't kill these people or something, you know, like who knows? The way he said it, he believed it, so we'll just have to find him and ask him.
He was extremely vague. I almost wish the test had gone on longer at this point. We could have maybe gotten more information out of him.
Agreed.
It would. Now that we have a face to the man, if we knew just a little bit more about him, we might be able to find out even more. You know.
Yes, and I think our best direction is still to go to the north through Dragon Country. That's probably the most likely area that he would go next. I would assume the Dragon's Mask would be associated there.
Yeah. Wonder where he's from.
He didn't say.
Yeah.
He didn't have any really distinguishing features about him either.
I had wondered, since you had only ever seen him either like transformed or wearing a mask or something, that if you ever got a clear look at his face, maybe he would even be somebody that you knew. Someone, I mean, to attack your hometown, of all places, I thought maybe he could have been from there, or he could have been from somewhere nearby and was known to visit.
No,
but
I agree.
You didn't recognize him at all.
I did not. And for all we know, though, he could have just been using a disguise spell or something either, maybe the whole time.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe what we saw in the dungeon or the Wishing Well wasn't his real form.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
Yeah, I've heard bits and pieces about plenty of magic objects that could do that, and if he and his group have been searching places for these masks, who knows how many artifacts he's found.
Yes. Dowroc, you were saying something?
Well, Dowroc is he's gonna hold up his multi-tool and just have do the magic tinkering and just show a hologram of Lloyd's head and face.
Okay.
Something like that. While we were thinking about Lloyd, he's just gonna hold up
Yeah, just so we kind of like have a picture of him while we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have that. Actually, I think it would be prudent to, if we can, maybe commission a sketch of him and have it sent between the Bracers guilds. Maybe somebody else has seen him and would know something about him.
No, that'd be a good idea to try to get at least more individuals on the lookout for him. And worst case scenario, even if somebody finds him that can't deal with him, they at least might be able to tell us where he's heading.
Now that we have at least some vague idea of his abilities too, we can put together like a proper job, and they can rate it accordingly.
Yeah.
But he also knows us.
Well,
that is also true.
I'm worried at this point. He has seemed very sure of himself up to this point. But after that trouncing you gave him, I don't think he'll take us lightly again.
I just had a momentary bit of luck, I guess, with the rage that I had felt. So, I mean, I don't know if I'll get that lucky again or.
And while I don't blame you, obviously, unless we can restore your paladin abilities, if he does come for us again and decides to actually take us seriously this time, I don't know that we can defeat him right now.
Agreed. Especially if he has the masks on his side as well, and who knows if he's found another one. I know that there are 5 total. We have 1, and he's had 2. That means there's at least 2 more out there.
Yeah, I hate to suggest it, but we might need to start thinking about using the mask against him. It may offer some insight into the others of its kind, or some protection against them that we aren't aware of yet. It should be a last resort, obviously, because clearly there is some evil to these artifacts. But we need to consider every weapon in our arsenal.
No, I agree. And the good thing about it is that since he seems to be a primarily fire user, and we have the Red Dragon's mask, which means if we were ever to need to use it against him, it would probably use well, as it helps resist fire.
He seemed to be able to push right through fire resistance, but dragons that use fire, such as red dragons, are pretty notorious for being suited against other fire users.
True.
But we can talk about that at another time.
So as you guys continue traveling, you guys get up to the area where Silverglade was, or still is, but the ruins kind of are there. You kind of look around and you see a bunch of people kind of like laid across the ground in random spots, indicating that and clothes torn to shred of what little clothes that they were still wearing. So you could tell that the wish at least succeeded in it. But so far, everyone that you have been finding, unfortunately, has been dead.
That's not great.
I mean, it looks like
He's going to get it.
Weapons or wounds that cause these creatures to die were from, human-like creatures. So, assuming that the Slads attacked people and then they retaliated and killed them in return, not probably knowing about the curse.
What were you going? Are we at the beginning of the town, or are we just?
You're right at the outskirts of the town. So like you're in the town basically.
Dowroc's going to get out. And he's going to yell, "Bryn!"
You don't hear anything or no response as of yet.
Oh God! He's going to run up to her house. Bryn.
You don't really hear anyone.
We did ask the guild to come here and try to contain the problem. Maybe she was taken in by a member. Who knows? We should we should spread out and search beyond the town. Maybe.
Hopefully, the guild read the entire message of.
I hope so.
What is occurring and didn't just come in killing. So as you guys kind of split apart and looking around the town, Dowroc's kind of, starting to get a little bit more frantic and a little more emotional as he's bursting in certain doors. You see you see 2 guild members, it looks like, on the other outskirts of the town.
Yeah, I'll make sure
They're
that
just kind of
I'll make sure that
standing guard.
I'll make sure that Zack has seen them. He has the most experience with dealing with guild members, and then I'll start heading towards them.
Yeah, Zack accompanies you, and so we approach the two guild members, and they're like, "Zack, what are you doing here?" And he responds, "Well, we came back to see what happened with the village. We were able to cure the disease that it was afflicted with, so we wanted to see who survived." And the two guards kind of looked at each other, and they kind of look back and they go, "Well, by the time that we got here, we were not able to find anyone alive. So I don't know if another group came in, but we've been here to try to see if anybody would come back to the village."
Have you managed to? We know these creatures had holed up somewhere else, away from here. Have you managed to find that location yet? There could be people there.
We have not. We currently have guild members out searching the surroundings, but so far we have not heard anything back from them yet. So
I'm gonna
seem like it.
I'm gonna send Unkindness up, and so that he can get like a really wide view of the area, and keep the conversation going.
So Dowroc, kind of going back to you for a sec. So as you're continuing looking around the town, you finally bust in the house of Thaldrin, the mind flayer. So you bust in his door, and you scream out Bryn's name again, and you hear a noise kind of toward the back of the house.
Bryn?
Nice.
Are you okay? I've come back. I'm sorry. I hurt you before, but we didn't leave. I didn't leave.
And as you
I wanted you to know that.
And as you keep kind of going to the back, you do see her. She is laying on the ground, and you can tell that she is alive, but she's very hurt and very wounded right now. Completely kind of tattered clothes, kind of just dragged something onto her to cover herself, but you can tell that she's kind of almost gasping a little bit, but she does look back to her normal self.
Casting 2 cure wounds on her.
Okay. So as you cast the cure wounds on her, the spell, because I'm assuming you're holding your hand out and it's like doing some healing spell. I assume that's how you would imagine it casting. So as you do that, you can see kind of the wounds on her fade ever so slightly, and as she kind of opens her eyes and looks up and says, "Dowroc, you came back."
I did, and I'm sorry. I hurt you. I had to know it was you.
He looks up and he just kind of smiles. And at this point, I'm going to assume that you're kind of like almost holding her, kind of like right next to her. So she just kind of smiles and then puts her head in your chest, and you can tell that she just kind of passes out. Not of hurt or anything. She's just, you can just tell that she's tired. So she kind of passed out in your arms.
Poor thing's all tuckered out.
I'm picking her up and just walking her out.
Okay.
I found her.
Good.
She's okay. Just except that she still has the mark I gave her, but
She does still have the mark. Because what did you have the mark look like?
it was just like the like a cross, it was like the tip of the mace, I guess.
Okay, gotcha. As you look down, you kind of still see the mark kind of on her, but it looks like it's kind of faded to where it's not causing pain or anything anymore, but you can still tell that it's going to be there forever because of how it was struck.
She can forgive me.
I'm sure she will.
Zack kind of is like, I think she already did.
Is that what your mercy saved?
I'm still hoping it saved more people too.
Yeah.
We She can't stay here, obviously, if none of her people are alive.
No, not at all.
Find somebody. We'll have to ask her when she wakes up. Or
Yeah, it's
I was
possible.
thinking about some other solution.
What's that?
Just send her to. I have some choices I can think of as to either have her be with the church, or I could send her home as my daughter.
Corwood?
Yeah, the Corwood.
Yeah, there's
And hire
I've
a god.
been thinking of options too. She talked about wanting to learn magic.
Yeah.
Runoff has temple healers. She could learn a lot from them.
Zack chimes in, the only thing though is, while Runoff is a town that would be able to potentially heal her without any kind of protector kind of there, Runoff's kind of not the best place, I think, probably to leave her.
Yeah,
If anything, we would need to take her to either Valley Watch or send her to Corwood, or, bring her with us, one of the three, so...
Yeah, we could bring her as far as... We're already heading to Laketown. Laketown is larger with a guild presence, too.
That is true. There is a guild branch there that might be able to help kind of look after her, and Zack kind of looks at Dowroc and he's like, I mean, you're the one that's kind of had the most time with her. What do you think we should do?
I think she should have some say as well.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
There's also the
I just don't want
now.
to leave her. It's just assume because I know it's going to be dangerous if you want to take her with her to Dragon's Reach, and then obviously
if we took her all the way
the school to the tower, the magic tower, it's going to be a little bit too. I'd like her to get to the magic tower, but to learn the kind of magic that I can. But
I know very little about the wizard there, but I do know he takes students. So that is also an option. It's just that would involve going all the way to the northern end of this continent, and then through a valley full of dragons and other large monsters. So
Yeah.
it might not be the best place for her.
Well, something that we can do for now, at least while she's recovering, is we can take her at least to Laketown with us, because I know that there are vessels there that if we decide to, and if she decides to do one thing or the other, that'd probably be the best hub that we can go to maybe send her somewhere else.
I agree. That's probably the best option. It would be between that and sending her with these guild members here back to where they came from. I assume Valley Watch, but I would trust us to escort her over them anyway.
Yes.
Not that I distrust them. It's just I don't trust many people more than I trust myself.
No, I agree.
I think she'd like to be from. I think she'd be more comfortable with me for other than strangers. Oh, we've known her for like a couple days, but as stranger goes, but
yes, but I do feel like there was some kind of connection, at least with you, over any of us, so I think she would feel the safest right now with you, but
it's not going to be the safest for a couple, for at least.
Like I said, if we go to Laketown, at least we can then decide from there where to send her, or we can send her back to Valley Watch or accompany her back to Valley Watch.
I think as much as I want what's best for her, I think we need to progress forward one way or the other. So if we are committed to accompanying her wherever she goes next, then I think it needs to be to Laketown.
Oh, let's get going.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we can see if there's, I guess, to see if they would be able to find that cave or anything like that. to see if there was anybody left.
Yeah, that is.
Well, Johan and I were talking to him, and they haven't found a cave yet. So
That I think we have to face the unfortunate possibility that since we've seen that apparently once that mind flayer was gone, a lot of the creatures seemingly went out of control and started attacking people more often. Hence all the dead that we've seen. I think we have to face the unlikely possibility that there isn't anyone left other than her. Because if he was corralling them all somewhere and just accepting the few that managed to worm free of his control as losses, the ones that kept coming back and attacking here, then I think whatever force was doing that is gone. And the rest have probably
Can finally grab it.
Yeah. If they're already left, like this village isn't very big. Like obviously the mind flayer was planning to start here, since it was so out of the way. This wasn't like his end game. He would have needed a few to help him invade whichever city he attacked next.
yes,
I can't imagine how many more people would be left, and even if there are only one or two survivors, that's not a village.
Yeah.
it is not.
So I think we, even if we have to, hire out to them properly, we have the guild keep searching for wherever they were nested and try to find any more survivors. But even if there are other survivors out there, taking her with us, I think, is still the best option for her.
I agree.
All right, so I guess I'll talk to the guild members and see how they want to handle the situation. If we need to take out a guild contract for them to do that or not.
All right, so you go off and you kind of chat with them, and they said no contract needed. So
Side note, I don't think we got a reward for the. Did we ever get a reward for the sled, or is it?
no, you haven't.
Okay, I don't think
You
we have.
haven't got the reward for escorting Rowan either.
Yeah, I don't think we got any proof for the sled though.
Yeah, well, you haven't. Yeah, you haven't been back to a guild, like an actual full guild yet. So yeah, you escorted Rowan, which you still have,
Yeah.
and then the slad, which was a tattoo. But
Yeah, there's no proof for that.
Well, I think if we don't end up getting the reward for that mission, it's
It doesn't
fine.
matter.
But I would like to get a reward for escorting Rowan. He wasn't very pleasant.
he was such a nice guy.
Mm,
He's just misunderstood. That's all.
sure, though you have odd definitions of nice and misunderstood, but yeah. He wasn't not to say he was villainous or anything. It's just he was an unpleasant person to spend time with.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, he was.
Looked at me a little too hard. Hit Dowroc a little too hard.
Yeah, I definitely think if he had thought he could get away with it, he would have tried to steal Igo.
Oh, for sure.
Or me.
Hmm.
Or yes, or you. All right. So, as you guys kind of tidy up around Silverglade, you are able to find kind of clothes that fit more appropriately and more put together for Bryn. So she kind of, wakes up and you explain the situation to her, and she happily agrees to continue traveling with you for now.
All right, cool.
Nope.
I want her to rest. She has technically been dead at this point, so that's a thing you should take the time to recover from. So she should chill in the wagon. There's plenty of room.
Oh, Dowroc was gonna show her kind of the new 2 infusions. Like he's gonna take a ring, he's gonna take the pearl power, and then he's gonna use his all-purpose tool to turn it into the tuning fork again, and then he's gonna tap the pearl power, and then the pearl power like a neon green kind of like hologram from the pearl power kind of like displays all these mathematical equations and like for the ball, and then he's gonna tap his platinum ring, and then it's going to absorb into the platinum ring, and then he's gonna show like Bryn how he was able to copy the power from the pearl of power into the ring, and then he's also going to basically explain what the traits do and everything like that, and then he's going to explain trying to think on how he wants to do this. Well, his other infusion he has is resistance armor, and I can grant resistance of a chosen damage type to a creature wearing armor. So it's like acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, necrotic, poison, psychic, radiant, or thunder damage.
Because I'm assuming why this is all going on, I'm going to assume that Dowroc and Bryn are in the carriage at the moment.
Yeah.
While Johan and Zack are sitting on the horses, just kind of, or, however Johan wants to do it, but just kind of in the front right now, kind of making their way.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
As Zack kind of hears Dowroc talking, about his things, he kind of looks over at Johan. Zack looks at Johan and he says, the good thing is about, he's like, if we are to combine maybe the power that Dowroc has with gaining resistance to a certain type. I remember when Dowroc identified the mask, he said that if it was more resistant, like it became it even harder to hit with that element, then we might actually be able to use it against Lloyd in that aspect. I don't know if his damage will be able to outdo that.
Yeah, I was thinking something similar.
Yeah, that's what Dowroc's doing. He's taking out the mask and telling him about like the story of Lloyd, but not like into details, like a child story, pretty much. Like what the adventures he's been on, like in telling her about how I became like 10 foot tall and was able to knock down a minotaur.
And after saying all of this, she's very heavily engaged and amused with everything, and very interested to learn kind of all the magic that you're doing.
And just showing, like, he's going to do the same thing with the Pearl of Power. Like, he's going to take out the dragon mask and be like, don't tell them I'm showing you, and stuff like that. And then tuning fork the dragon mask and just point out to her that I can grant resistance to another piece of armor, like another like a piece of clothing that this mask can do, and much more if I had enough time. And then just I'll tap on like Johan's shoulder, and then or Zack's shoulder, and I'll tell Johan to put fire up to Zack's armor or something like that.
You're having him attack me?
Yeah. Well, Johan's the only one with fire.
Oh,
Well, that is true. He is the only one with fire.
yeah, I can do
I don't want to shoot Zack. It's like with
I can hold up like a produce flames fireball to his armor and show that it doesn't like scorch or whatever.
Yeah. It's just, and then Dowroc is going to kind of wind down the stories and kind of just ask her about if she has any kind of like relatives nearby, or Like if she has an aunt or an uncle or
As
any
you kind of, as you
cousins.
start asking her that afterwards, she kind of, the smile and kind of giggling that she was done kind of turns around, and she just kind of, you can tell she's starting to get a little sad, and she says, my whole life, the only thing I ever knew was that village. I don't know where any of my family is anymore, or even if I have any.
Well, we don't have to think about that. Well, would you have you ever heard of the Kingdom of Corwood?
He's like, no, I haven't.
That's well, there. No, I could tell you a secret. Like, I'm a prince there, and would you want to? Would you want to go visit a castle?
She's like, would I? She gets kind of excited again at the thought of that.
Well, I can send you there, but it's gonna be a while before I can catch up to you. I can.
And he kind of like quiets back down again, and she's like, but would you take me there, or I don't really feel safe anywhere else right now.
Well, we can talk about that later. Um, I can definitely take you to this following town, and do you think you'd want to? I can come back for you if you'd wanted to stay at this nearby town first, and then there's something going on and that I have to take care of before I can fully come back.
And she kind of gets a little emotional and kind of like lunges towards you and like kind of embraces, like kind of hugs you. So it's like, I don't want you to go away. So as you guys are riding, you guys do make it into the entrance of Laketown.
Okay.
But you see it's, kind of ahead of you, so you can,
How long will it take?
it would have taken at least a day or two probably total of traveling time. Just because you're also not like rushing because, you're trying to take it easy with Bran, and so.
I was just asking because this spell slot.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
minimum.
no, you're fine.
Minimum
I
it would have taken us
used
like
spell.
Oh, yeah. You guys are long rested, everything. Yeah, you guys are fully healed. Back to normal.
Oh, was it? It was just a spell. Never mind.
no, this is someplace Johan's been a lot of places here in the southern area, but he's never really been kind of this far north before. So this is new.
What Johan tells us.
Yeah, I'll mention that.
Okay. Dowroc's like, wow. Like all these other places that we've been so far, you've been. It's just exciting. I haven't been. It's just something new
Yeah,
that you don't know.
I mean, I don't go into every town I come to, but I've at least been in view of several of them. Know a bit about their layout and whatnot. I just never really made it here before. I'm gonna put the info page for Laketown in the thing.
So Laketown, if it's still the same description as last time you sent it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So Laketown looks like an old English fishing village using brick as much as wood and stone, with the way down to the lake being downhill. There's a keep that sits at the highest point of the market, being the next highest. Residents being downhill toward the water, and then the docks and the fish market situated nearest the shore. Buildings packed around the keep are also residences, being the farmsteads that supply Laketown and Lake Keep. So as you guys kind of enter into Laketown, it seems like a very busy, kind of bustling market type thing. in the entrance that you enter into.
And we would definitely the main smell as we walk in here would definitely be fish. A lot of fish, because the tributaries off of this lake go back to the ocean, so there's some fish from the lake, and then there's also people who come up the rivers to bring fish to market from those rivers and from the ocean too, since this is a pretty central place where people would expect to find that kind of thing anyway.
Well, first thing first, I think this little lady needs some food
Agreed.
in her belly. What do you think?
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, I agree for sure.
And
That's
you
fine.
can get whatever you want, Bryn. Just
And she kind of gets real happy and kind of takes your hand in one as you guys walk toward the tavern. So as you guys enter the tavern, providing you guys don't want to go anywhere else first.
Yeah, I'll at least pop in there with you guys before I do anything else.
Okay. All right. So as you pop in, most of the people that are sitting down kind of, just having a drink or eating some food. And then you guys go up to the gentleman behind the counter. Bryn kind of gets excited, looks at, kind of asks him what she can get, and she ends up getting a huge plate of meat and food and stuff. And as you guys are sitting there enjoying yourself for a moment, you hear a bit of rowdiness going on in the corner. Not fighting or anything, but just individuals, just a group of people kind of being louder than everyone else.
I'll definitely kind of meander in that direction and listen in on what's going on.
So as you move over to that corner, you see a group of 4 individuals sitting around a table, kind of drinking heavily and having a good merry time, talking really nothing about anything, nothing important, or it doesn't sound important. They're really just kind of making dumb jokes and stuff back at each other. And the 4 that you kind of notice, you notice a human who's got a pirate-style hat on, who's sitting there. On the one side, you see a half-orc, a big half-orc. You see a female, I don't know how exactly you pronounce it, satire?
Satyr?
Satyr, that's what I was trying to, satyr.
Yeah.
And then you see a halfling, you just see a halfling sitting on the other side.
Now, aside from the piratey bit, is there anything else distinguishing these people?
Well, you can tell that they're all kind of wearing some things that are very nautical themed.
Okay.
So you can tell that they are what you would guess, at least, from a ship or something of that nature, or at least from dealing with water.
Okay.
You see the cat, or the guy with the hat that's sitting there. He's kind of kicked back a little bit. He's got a long jacket on. He's got just a scimitar on his side with another dagger. You see the big half-orc, and he just looks very muscular, and he's got a giant axe that's kind of leaning against the table next to him. You see the little halfling who's got arrows, like a quiver on his back with a bow and arrow sitting next to him. And then you see her, and you can see that she is playing a musical instrument while she is attempting to sing.
shanty.
Yes, she's attempting to sing a shanty.
I'll
Dowroc's not really paying attention to it. He's more focused on Bryn and just sneaking food from her and just drinking not wine or anything, just juice. Just getting the same thing that she gets, like juice or whatever that the bartender would have for a child, I guess.
Bartender kind of looks at you odd, but says, "Yeah, here you go," and kind of gives it to you anyway. So,
Alright, I'll walk over to the floor and say hello.
and as you walk over, the female satyr stops attempting to sing, and as she stops, you hear the half-orc say, "Thank God she stopped," and you see the halfling kind of look up at you, and he's just like, "Well, hello there."
I couldn't help but see how lively a group you are. And based on your clothing, I assume you're in from ship.
He's like, "A ship, not just any old ship. Haven't you heard of the Endeavor?"
I sadly haven't and don't have much experience with anything of the nautical persuasion.
And as you say that, the satyr kind of starts tearing up. He's like, "He's never heard of us."
I'm here now to hear what you have to say.
As you say that, the halfling kind of stands up, kind of comes to your waist. He's just like, "Well," he's like, we're the best pirate crew on this coast." As he says that, the what you can assume to be captain with the hat kind of says, "Ferris, leave him alone." And the halfling kind of looks back at him. He's like, "Sorry, Captain, sorry." And he kind of sits back down for a second. And the half-orc kind of pulls up a chair. And he's like, "Care to sit down with us?"
Well, I've never had a drink with pirate crew before. It's worth experiencing everything once, right?
The half-orc kind of lets out a big laugh. And he's like, "That's the spirit." And he kind of like hits you on your back a little bit, like a pat. And as you sit down, he's like, "My name is Oric Frosthammer."
Nice to meet you. I'm Johan.
He's like, "Oh," and you kind of look down at the table and you can see that he's messing with like some coins, kind of throwing them at a cup, it looks like he's almost trying to get it inside of a cup across the table.
You seem pretty good at that.
It's like, "Oh, I mean, pirate crew, you got to be good at quarters." Chucks another one across and totally misses the cup that time.
You're fairly open about being a pirate crew. I wouldn't have expected something like that.
He's like, "Well, anybody that would try to cross us would have to deal with us, and we're too good and fast to be dealt with by anybody on this lawmaking side."
Fair enough.
And the halfling kind of looks over at you, and he's just like, "Would you care to try a game of quarters?"
Why not?
"There's only one thing that you have to do, though." He's like, it's an anti-game, so we ask that we'll put something up of ours, but if you have to put up something of yours, it doesn't have to be very big by any means." And as he says this, he kind of reaches into his bag and kind of is looking around. He pulls out like this pair of boots and he sits them on the counter, or sits them on the table in front of him. Like, "I'll wager these nice boots against something that you have."
What even have?
Well, the bag of holding has 2, 3, 4, 5 great axes.
Yours?
Yeah, and the flail still. The flail of the Tiamat.
The captain.
Mm-hmm. And the Red Dragon mask. We're gonna have to dump everything, and then that's gonna be shown out to the world.
And as he sets the boots on the table, you can tell that there's a slight magical property about them. Nothing super strong or anything, but you can definitely tell that there's something with them.
All right, I'll put up my Pearl of Power that I'm not really using right now.
And he says, "Sounds good." And so Varys, the halfling, goes to one side of the table. Johan goes to the other side. And he says, "Well, here's how you play quarters. It's pretty simple. You pick up this coin and you got to chuck it at the table, bounce it, and make it into a cup. If you don't make it, you have to take a drink, and the first one to fall loses."
Oh no.
Sounds straightforward enough.
In real world, there are rules for this game. So you will start by making a dex check. This is not including any items. You do not have advantage on dex checks for this.
Okay.
You can use your modifier and everything. So you just have to make a dex check.
Okay.
And this is, you're playing against Varus.
All right. Cool.
So
Then dex check. 12.
okay, you succeed. So let me copy the quarters so you can see it. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rules for quarters has been posted. So your DC, your dice check is increased to 11. So it is now Varus's turn to try to throw. He rolls and only gets a 3, so he misses the cup. So he now makes a Constitution saving throw and fails again, so he has to take a drink. So his fail count adds up to 1.
Good for him.
So now you make another dex saving throw
All right.
as you are attempting to throw.
I got a 7 this time.
You failed. Make a Constitution saving check. Or con save. Con save. Trying to hit 11.
Oh, I did not.
Johan takes a drink. So Varus's turn. So Varus does a dex save. Gets a 12, so he succeeds. So you both have 1 fail strike. The first one to 3 losers. So you have a 12 save now.
All right. What's Zack doing right now?
He's over with Dowroc right now.
I'll try to get his attention and wave him over, excitedly, because this is fun. I want him to want him to experience the fun.
Dowroc's gonna get up too.
Okay, so you guys kind of...
Brandon's definitely gonna. If it says it's. If Johan's looking at it like it's fun, and Brandon's definitely gonna want to be like very curious.
So everyone kind of gathers around the table while Johan's playing.
All right.
Okay.
Dex check time again.
Yep. So now you're on a 12. 12 dex.
12.
Hey! Varus attempts to. And he fails miserably. So he makes a con save. But he succeeds on his con save, so he does not take a drink.
Okay.
It's the halfling.
This is the halfling, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Johan, 13.
All right. Definitely passed that one. With a 22.
22.
Ooh.
Varus does it and fails again miserably. But he again succeeds his con save. Alright. 14.
I'll start, some friendly goading. Not the luckiest halfling I've ever met.
He's just like the half orc or orc kind of looks at him. He's like, "That's what we keep telling him," and he kind of hits him in his back.
Is orc?
Failed that one.
Is that name Orc Frosthammer? Is it orc like orc?
But I succeeded my
Auric
I failed my dex, but succeeded in my con.
succeeded the con. Okay, it's O-R-I-K, Auric Frosthammer. Yes, he is also a half orc. That was not on purpose, actually. Funny enough. All right, so Varus makes his and succeeds on his dex saving throw. 15.
Okay.
Ooh.
We are getting heated.
I pass again.
Okay. So Varus does it and barely passes. 16.
Fail.
Oh.
But I succeed at my con.
Okay. He does a dex save and fails. His con save succeeds. He getting high con saves.
Yeah.
17.
What's the score?
It's 1 and 1. They each have 1 fail check. That's it.
Okay.
So they're still tied. So 17 now.
I crit succeed.
Ooh.
Varus fails his and fails his con save, so he has a +2. So next time he fails,
Okay.
All right. 17.
I pass.
Oh,
Wow.
Varus fails and he fails his con save.
Yeah.
Varus has lost. So as he took a drink, he kind of stumbles across and he's just like, well, they're all yours, and he kind of throws the boots at you. So you have obtained Boots of the Vigilant.
Yeah, appreciated. The game was almost worth it in and of itself, but I'll still take the boots.
So the boots are a once per day, you can add a D8 to your initiative.
Ooh, cool.
And the half-orc kind of looks over at Dowroc and he's like, would you care to fancy a try?
He's going to look at Bran, and Bran's going to give him that look. And Dowroc's like,
He's like, you got it.
he's going to give him that excited look, like she wants to play, but she's afraid to play. But she wants someone to play in for her instead, and it's just like...
So, Orc
Dowroc
takes a...
brave face. He's going to put on a brave face.
Orc takes an amulet from his neck, from around his neck, and he sets it on the table. He's like, well, this is my wager. And again, it's kind of a similar feel of the boots, where it kind of gives off a small magic, but nothing grand.
So if I have anything besides what I was going to do...
You can also knock guidance during this game.
Oh,
I wasn't
darn.
going. Thinking of, I was actually trying to think of like cheating and like doing it. Johan. He's gonna similarly put up a pearl power.
All right. And he kind of like,
I mean, we could basically make those now, so...
yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Just thinking it.
And Orc kind of like moves his hand over. He's like, guest first, after you.
Oh, here we go.
Starts off as a 10, so 10 dex check.
Barely made it.
Orc crit fails on his first one.
Oh my.
And he only gets an 8 constitution, so he's already failed one.
Dowroc's gonna ask him what we're drinking.
He just says the finest ale here in Laketown.
Dowroc kind of gives a gulping. He doesn't really like that, but all right, he's gonna go for it. Oh my, net 20.
All right, succeed. Orc attempts to throw his coin, and he succeeds with a 16. 12 is your dex save now.
Okay, 12. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, con save.
Constitution instead.
You're fine. Dex save on Orc. He throws and misses. And fails his constitution miserably as well. As he is missing profusely, the satyr is laughing hysterically behind him.
What is the captain doing?
He's just kind of sitting at the table, not really saying much.
I'll,
He's watching it, enjoying.
I'll give Oric one of the same kinds of hearty pats on the back that he tends to give others, and I'll be like, don't worry, I'm sure you'll get another one eventually.
He's like, I hope so. He just keeps laughing and kind of drinking, even when he's not really required to. 11, so... Ooh, now our first fail.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Orc. Ooh, 19. He passed.
See, I told you.
Dowroc's turn.
Lay down, cuz.
He just burst out laughing. Uh-oh. Con save. You need a 13. Alright, you're safe. Uh-oh. Does he? Ooh, 15. He's safe. All right.
What do I know? Is it still 14, or does it go up every?
It goes up by 1 every round.
Okay, so
So
14.
eventually you will fail. But yeah, it's 14 right now. Oh, 19.
That was a good game.
15.
Woo.
All right. Oh, crit. 16.
Inspiration.
Oh,
I'm not gonna take it off one.
con save.
Nah,
Oh,
Nice.
you're fine. All right. Orc got a 17, so that works. So 17th new check.
Check.
After
Alright.
Johan's inspirational thing, Orc seems to be doing better.
Let's go.
Dowroc's probably not too happy with Johan.
You failed.
Orc failed that one, and it was a 19 and it rolled over to a 9.
Ah,
Orc takes another drink and falls over, and he's like, that was a good game, and he kind of gives you a handshake, and he kind of gives you the amulet that he had at the table.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull him up.
Huh?
I'm shaking his hand and pulling him up at the same time.
Oh.
I don't know how. That'd probably be enough to help him up.
So as you get the item, you get a amulet of the drunkard.
Oh my God.
So it is an amulet. Neither of the items that you got require attunement. The amulet is when you drink a pint of beer, ale, mead, or wine. Once per day, you can restore 4d4 plus 4 hit points.
Holy moly. I like this.
yeah, that's good.
I show Bryn what I want.
He's like, I knew you could do it.
Yeah. But I'll go ahead and order a round for their table and for us.
Everyone.
I wanna
Unless
throughout that last exchange, I want to keep my eye on the captain and roll an insight and see if I noticed anything about his reactions to anything.
Okay.
I didn't get very high. All right.
No, I mean, you don't notice he doesn't react terribly much, but you can definitely tell that he's not.
Pleased.
He doesn't. No, he's not. He's not upset or anything. Like, he seems very okay. He just was kind of quiet during the games.
All right. So
he was not against anything.
as Dowroc is putting in the order for his round of drinks, I'm gonna talk to the captain directly. I'm gonna say, no offense to you and yours, but based on those performances, I imagine you must collect quite a few artifacts to be so willing to risk parting with them.
And he just kind of pushes up the brim of his hat a little bit. And he says, "Well, as a pirate crew, you come across quite a lot of things."
And begs the question. My friends and I are questing right now on a rumor more than anything else. We heard tales, just voices on the wind about masks. They apparently carry a dragon theme, and we're heading up in the direction of the Dragon Valley. Anyway, thought having said masks might provide us some insight into the dragons, maybe, a means of surviving should they decide to get uppity while we're there. You wouldn't happen to have heard anything about anything like that, would you?
And he just kind of chuckles a little bit, and he's like, "Well, yeah, of course I've heard of it." And he kind of points over to the bar where a flyer is. And as you kind of walk over and look at it, you see the Tournament of Champions at the top. And you see at the bottom, you say Grand Prize. And you see a picture of a green dragon's mask.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And the order of drinks that Dowroc orders is grape juice.
As everyone starts kind of like drinking it, and Orc takes his sip, and he's just like, "What is this stuff?" He kind of spit it out a little bit.
Then Bryn's like, "It's grape juice."
He seems extraordinarily happy.
So, well, again, you kind of motion for Zack. Make sure he sees the flyer.
He goes over and kind of looks at it with you, and he kind of picks it up and reads the bottom part, and he kind of looks over at you, and he says, "Looks like the rules for this tournament's going to be a little different than the last one. Looks like this one's only a single fight, but the grand prize is a green dragon's mask, and if it's, I assume, the same one that we're looking for, this could be a great treat." And it says the tournament, though, doesn't start for a couple days, but it's here in Laketown.
Yeah, I think we need to risk staying long enough to enter. We should also maybe do our absolute best to find where they're keeping the prize, assuming that it's already here in town. We wouldn't want our friend Lloyd coming and trying to take his prize without having earned it.
Oh, agreed. I think that would be a good call.
In fact, I'll ask the tavern keeper if he knows where the. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know if the tournament organizers are already in town even yet. If he knows anything about it.
You ask the individual, and he says, "Oh no, they don't come in usually until the morning of. This flyer was sent ahead of them just to start gathering buzz."
Okay.
But as of right now, he's like, "There's only been 4 people that have signed up for the tournament, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very big one."
Have you seen these people? Could you describe them? Where we participated in the previous round. I'm wondering if maybe some of our friendly rivals from that have decided to participate in this one as well. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
As he's kind of cleaning his glass and stuff, and he's just like, "Oh, I can describe you. I can do better than describe you." And he's like, "They're over there," and he points over to where the pirate crew is sitting.
Okay. Well, that presents an interesting possibility that they might be here to pirate a mask. So now we've got to keep our eyes on them. But if they do intend on actually participating, they don't look like pushovers, so that'll be interesting.
He says, "Yeah." Zack kind of agrees, and he's like, "Yeah, it doesn't. And unfortunately, with my situation right now, I don't know how much use I'll be. I mean, I'll of course enter, but I don't see me doing that well in it."
In a second.
And maybe we should take these next couple days to see if we can gauge how well you would still do in a fight.
He says, "No, that sounds like a good plan. I'd appreciate it."
All right, so how late in the day would it be at this point?
I'd say it's early evening.
All right, so Laketown should have tournament grounds.
Yes.
I'm gonna suggest maybe a bit of sparring.
Okay. Zack agrees.
All right, let's go now then before we fill our bellies too much more and slow ourselves down.
All right, so you guys head over to the tournament grounds, which is vacant as of right now, and looks like obviously in preparations for the coming days.
Dowroc is. How much is the juice? Like,
Oh, for the whole round, I guess, for everybody?
yeah.
I'd say like 25 gold, I guess. I don't know, maybe not. It was a big tavern.
Yeah, it was a big tavern, and you ordered her juice before that too.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's including everything that you did there. So that's all the fruit that
They
were
also
in
use,
That's all.
you say 10 gold for a bottle of elven wine? I think it was.
Yeah, it was 10 gold.
Okay, not to get that also.
Okay.
All right, so Zack, just fair warning, I'm going to come at you with everything I have.
And he kind of just steadies his sword, and he's like, "Wouldn't have it any other way."
Yeah, it's for the best, I think. See how you can handle it.
He says, "Hopefully, maybe something will help jog something, or
I hope
help
so.
me." But it's worth a shot.
I say I don't know much about the kind of faith or belief makes a paladin. But I do know that somehow, in all of my traveling around, all of my avoiding my home, I managed to hold on to my connection to the land, because I remember that no matter what I do it for my people in the end. And I think it's that belief more than any specific magic that has kept that connection intact. Maybe all you need is something else to believe in.
And he kind of nods, and he's like, "I think you're right. I think ever since I became a paladin, shortly after my parents were killed, that immediately sent me into an oath to kill somebody, a belief of just defeating something with all means possible. So I think you're right. I think finding something else another reason to fight will help me regain myself, my senses."
Well, then, keep your mind focused on the search for that thing, while I try to skewer you with my wooden sword. I'm rolling initiative, and I fail horribly.
You got your boots.
Yeah,
I got a 16.
yeah. There's no point. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
As we're starting, though, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to summon Beans onto my shoulder before the fight even starts.
okay.
So I'm not going to bring him actually out unless I need to point at something.
I mean, he's on your shoulder.
Yeah.
All right. So as the fight starts, 1, 2, 3, and Zack takes one hand off of his sword, takes his left hand, and shoots a Eldritch Blast at you, because you can tell that his Warlock abilities still seem to be intact. But unfortunately, you know that his Warlock abilities are much, much more finite than his Paladin ones. He gets an 18 to hit.
Right. That does.
Dowroc's giving.
That does hit.
Bryn is on top of Igo, and then Dowroc is giving color commentary to Bryn. How this fight goes. And telling her about there's different kinds of magic, and just showing her examples.
8.
By teaching her by this fight.
As the first blast hits, he shoots off his second blast and gets a 22.
Yep.
And does 7 force.
Well, I don't like that. I'm going to say I'll say, got the idea of this from you, and a shield that takes the appearance of glowing translucent vines is going to weave itself into place between me and the blast as I cast shield.
I would assume, is that after the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay.
Dowroc's gonna ask and say, who do you want to win?
Bren doesn't really answer. He doesn't want to pick sides. As the shield appears, though, Zack does kind of get an exciting more look on his face, and it goes to Johan's turn.
All right. Let's see, what is my... Yeah, that's what I thought, okay. I'll activate my runic oak armor. And then I will summon Crispy.
Oh, crispy.
And as he appears, he will shoot a flame seed at Zack, which one of these days I will learn. Yeah, +7. Okay. So 21 to hit.
That hits.
It annoys me that your companions don't heal when you heal. So that does 9 fire damage.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm assuming you're down one, or
I'm just
one?
kind of hovering between the two of them. I wanted to be centered.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So Zack kind of grips his sword and starts running at you. And as he runs up to you, he just swings his sword at you.
All right.
With disadvantage. That's a miss. 13.
Yep. I just kind of lean out of the way.
And then as he dodges, he does another swing because he now has extra attack.
Mm-hmm.
So at disadvantage yet again. He again misses with a 10. That's his turn.
All right. So I'll say the magic you still have is effective, but it's not going to be enough. And I'll actually draw my sword now, and I will bonus action cast Shillelagh on it, and kind of starts to shimmer with green light, and then I will concentrate on it, and you see glowing green vine-like etchings curl their way up the blade, and I will attack with a combination Shillelagh Booming Blade.
Oh, okay.
18.
I have 19.
Can I do anything? Can I do anything about that? I'll spend my inspiration. Why not?
Okay.
19.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
Oh, he took it. He took
11 plus favored foe for another 1, so 12 total.
Okay.
And then at the end of my turn, Crispy is going to use fiery teleportation to take me.
Actually, I had a question about that. So, how does Crispy work when it comes to doing actions? Is it a bonus action required to tell him what to do, or is it a...
Yeah, but it's a bonus action with Todd and Igo too, and we haven't really been doing that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he teleports.
Yep. So you will have to make a DC 15 a dexterity saving throw.
13.
You take 5 fire damage.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. So Zack kind of raises his left hand again and kind of points it. This time he points it at Crispy. And he shoots an Eldritch Blast at Crispy.
It's just a map.
It's only 14.
That does hit.
Okay. 2 force damage. He then shoots a second blast at Crispy. Gets a 25
It definitely
and
is.
does 5 force damage.
Are you going to be relying on that power? If so, keep using it. But if not, we need to train. We need to try to train back the rest. And then I will cast Scorching Ray.
Ooh.
How many is that by default? 3 of them. So I attack 3 times. That misses.
Is that a... Oh, okay.
That one hits for 8 fire damage.
So Zack raises his left hand and presents a shield to raise his AC.
And then the last one will miss also.
Okay.
And then me and Crispy will move back.
Zack is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he is going to cast... He's going to cast the Armor of Agathis on himself to give him 10 temporary cold hit points.
Okay.
And then if you melee him while he's got him, you take 10 cold temporary hit, or 10 damage. If it's a melee only, though. You can still range it. Your turn.
Alright.
Dowroc says that he's never seen him do that before.
As you're commenting to Bren.
Commentating with Bryn and Bren.
Alright, I'm going to move here. No, hold on. What do I want to do? What do I have? What else do I have? Yeah, I'll move here.
Okay.
And then I'll hold my attack until after Crispy can move into position here.
Yeah.
And I'll attack with advantage. 21.
Hits.
7, 10. 13 damage.
Okay. Zack's 10 hit points are gone, but Johan takes 10 cold damage from the armor.
And then Crispy attacks him from behind, also with advantage. But
Okay.
it's a ranged weapon attack, so it cancels out
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and misses.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, that's it.
Okay. So, Zack's kind of like looking back and forth between the two of them, or the two of you. And he just takes his long sword and he tries to swing it at Crispy. 19 to hit.
That is.
15 slashing damage.
Alright,
Are you giving Zack?
Crispy is destroyed.
What did you say, Dowroc?
Are you giving Zack like disadvantage when he swings his sword? I was curious. I thought I heard you say advantage before or disadvantage before when you swung his sword.
from my armor.
Oh, for his
No, that's when I attack Johan. I have disadvantage.
I didn't know if
She's
you.
got
Yeah, I didn't
No,
know
yeah,
if you were doing with melee as disadvantage attacks. So that's what I was curious about.
Zack's gonna turn to Johan and attempt to attack him with disadvantage. And get a 22. Woo!
Yep.
It only does 7 damage though. And that is Zack's turn. Zack is bloody, by the way.
What does Bryn do on? Or what does Todd do with Bryn? I was just curious. Like, Bryn's right on I go, and I was just curious about.
No, Todd's pretty indifferent. He's pretty indifferent about anything, though.
Yeah. Bryn's gonna take out some meat from her pocket, or from that, or from like a little. I don't know. Does she have a baggie?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she can have a little bag.
She's gonna feed Todd some meat. Like sneak it to Todd. Okay.
Alright, I'm going to... disengage. And move back.
Sentinel!
Yep, alright. Boop.
I still get disadvantage though, but... Oh yeah, I missed completely, so...
Move there. And then with my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Spirit in the space that I am currently in. I guess I'll cast it ahead of where I am and then end up in that space. So that
Was that as long as you're in that space to heal or something?
when I enter it and when I start my turn there, I heal a little bit. So I'm going.
Ooh, that's nice.
I'm going to. It says it takes the form of a transparent beast or fae. I want mine to take the form of a transparent golden tree, the trunk of which takes up that 5-foot square, and I pass into it.
Okay.
And I regain 4 HP.
Okay.
That does mean I drop my favorite foe, but that's fine.
Dowroc gets surprised again. It's like, do you see that?
Everyone's using new things.
And that's my turn.
Alright, so Zack is going to move here. And he's going to disadvantage attack you with his long sword and miss. And then extra.
I'll add
And 19.
Alright, cool.
That one hits, doesn't
Yeah.
it? 14 slashing.
And I'll say you can still use your sword, but the full power isn't there behind it.
So yeah, I can tell that in a normal fight I would be able to empower the slashes that I've been doing, but I just can't seem to do it. I can't seem to gather that energy.
Alright, I heal again.
Okay.
Only by 2, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know. And then I will just booming shillelagh you, I guess.
Okay.
15's gonna miss.
Brings up the sword and blocks it. Okay.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright. He will just longsword, because that's really all he can do. First one, he gets a disadvantage, but he gets both 12s, so 20. A 12 slashing damage. And then he'll second attack you. And get it for 13 slashing damage.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
Where's that thing? Let me do a couple of things here real quick.
Okay.
How
Save.
it looks like the next blow.
Alright,
could, like,
my healing spirit disappears.
Oh, gotcha.
just the
What were you
next.
saying?
I was just curious about how hurt you guys or how winded you guys are. I don't think you're trying to bloody
Well,
each
we're
other.
not trying to like kill each other.
Yeah, I was curious about how winded you guys look, so I could be like, oh, it's almost down to the final blow.
Oh, gotcha. Zack is a little over bloody right now.
Alright, I'm
So
going.
he's got 28 health.
I'm going to speak a healing word.
Okay.
And I say, you're doing better than I expected, even without your abilities. But still not enough. Even if you aren't living for vengeance anymore, you need that power in order to protect people. And so I'm gonna take one more swing at you, and then I want you to knock me out. I'll shillelagh attack and miss horribly again. Rolls have been very bad today.
Okay. So as Zack kind of closes his eyes for a minute, and he's like slow breathing, trying to just kind of be in there, nothing, trying to focus, and he kind of like opens his eyes,
Zack,
goes up. Yep.
roll a d20, Zack.
Oh. 13.
Zack kind of hears. And you see Zack goes for Eldritch Blast.
So he attacks he raises his left hand and shoots an Eldritch Blast at disadvantage. And a 14, second blast, 19, so which hits. D10, 10 force damage.
Alright, that does knock me out.
As the knockout happens, Zack kind of like falls down to his knee. And he just starts kind of panting a little bit.
Like, what Dowroc saw was like a smirk on Zack's face before he did that Eldritch Blast. And then he's gonna run up to him and say, "Are you alright?"
And he's sitting there kneeling. He's just like, I don't know what just happened. It's like, it's almost like I blacked out for a second. I don't, and he kind of like looks over at Johan, who's laying on the ground. And he kind of like comes over and like grabs his hand and helps him up by like, healing hands on him. So
Didn't feel like a smite.
So he crit, well not crit, but max healing hands, all fours. So so he grabs Johan's hand, heals him as he pulls him back up.
What do you think, Brian?
He's like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, that was kind of cool seeing like powers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that was really cool magic.
Kind of
I
some things I never saw before, but this is the way of the world. Just multiple ways you can do things. I wasn't sure about that last attack, but uh, yeah, the world is open if you're wanting to learn.
I'll say I wasn't sure about that last attack either.
Bren kind of looks at Dowroc and says, I mean, their magic's kind of cool, but I'm kind of interested more in, I mean, your magic is really interesting to me more.
Oh. Oh.
Zack kind of is talking to Johan. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened in that last few seconds.
The other magic you wield, the magic, that warlock magic. I've seen stuff like it before. It can be intoxicating, and maybe now that your paladin magic isn't here, it's trying to worm its way in. And
like it does seem like that, but
it's still your.
I was using it more this fight.
It's still your power. I mean, it may come from an outside source, but it's still yours. If that's what you want to wield, then wield it. But I don't know if that's the power that you want to use to protect people. Primarily, I think maybe if we have the chance to spar again, maybe we do so with only the barest amounts of magic, enough to make my sword, able to hit you, and nothing else. And you get the feel for fighting without it completely. And as much as it must hurt too, I think you need to, think about all the people you lost, and all the people who could be lost still, if we aren't able to complete our quest. Maybe that'll shake something up for you.
He kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Johan, roll a perception check.
Okay. 21.
Johan, you notice that last two blasts were a little reddish in color, like more of a reddish hue to them.
All right, I'll note it, but I'm not gonna say anything about it yet.
Okay.
And to say we
do
still have some time before the tournament. I think we should turn in for the night, rest, and maybe come back out in the morning and do some more work. This time, I don't know. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I do think that focusing only on the martial skills that were most closely associated with your paladin abilities would be the better option.
I agree. I think that is for the better. I think until maybe I get my paladin powers back.
For tonight, I think we should all join in. I was going to hold a little ceremony for tonight at the church. There's something that we probably should do before we go.
All right. That's fine.
Before that.
Okay. You said before, like tonight, or before we head out of town?
Well, just before tonight, just something we should probably do that I wanted to show Bryn here about.
Okay.
Maybe it will help you too, Zack. Just to give you a different perspective from my point of view. Yeah. Skill.
Zack agrees and says, yeah, we can, let's go.
Okay. Gonna take Bran and plop her on pick her up and put her next to Igel and say, would you like to say goodbye? to your villagers. I could. That's what I'm going to set up. Is we can make sure that they're not here now, but we can definitely say safe voyage for their next journey. Your morning and your neighbors.
She's like, I would like that.
Well, do you know the Raven Queen? Have you ever heard of her?
She just kind of shakes her head no.
Well, she's the one that guides your family and your friends, and she'll make sure that they get to the next where they're supposed to be next.
She kind of takes your hand and she's like, I would like that. And then as you guys head toward the
Temple,
the temple, yeah, sorry, temple.
and I explain to just give donations and hand her a gold coin and have her give a donation to the priest and explain to the priest that we need rites ascending.
Priest takes it and gladly welcomes you in.
As you all are doing this, I'm going to kind of hang back, give Zack a look that says I wouldn't mind if he stood with me, but he can do whatever he wants.
Like you're asking Zack staying behind?
Yeah.
With you? Okay. Yeah, Zack kind of steps back with you and just...
I'll speak in a low voice while everything else is going on, and I'll say, places like this always make me a little wary. I have to remind myself that my people have a god too. It's just that we actually can talk to ours sometimes. I have myself, but it always strikes me as a strange thing having faith in something that you've maybe never seen.
Zack kind of nods and he says, "Oh, I know that feeling."
It's weird. The world at large, the average person has never met a god and never will. And to them, faith is just the belief that thing that they've heard about is real. And for someone who has met one, the gods almost stop feeling like gods anymore. They're just particularly strong people. It makes such a thing difficult, and it would certainly make someone with powers like yours, it would make it hard for them to find those powers again if they were lost. But maybe belief isn't enough. Maybe you need a little bit of faith too. Not even necessarily faith in a god, but faith that we are going to be able to put things right.
As Johan's talking, Zack's kind of like looking down a little bit and taking in the words that he's saying, kind of nodding as he's going. He says, I thank you for that. These powers that seems like the light part of me seems to have left, even if only for a moment, and the darkness is all that remains right now. And I mean, I know that light and dark exist in everybody, but it is up to them which side they want it to win.
I think you're waging an imaginary battle, my friend, because darkness can't exist without light, and if your darkness is getting stronger, that just means that your light is getting stronger too. You just need to find it. That's all. That you just need to find it.
I just kind of looks back over at Johan. He's just like, I appreciate all that you've done so far. And he kind of gets up and he... Go ahead.
I hope there's more I can do.
He says, he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, I believe there is. And he's like, but for now, I kind of just want to go for a walk. And he kind of steps outside of the temple. He doesn't look sad or anything.
Yeah.
He just kind of...
I'll put my hand on his shoulder to stop him for just a second. I'm like, just be careful with the mask coming to town. There is no telling who might be lurking out there.
He says, I will. Thank you.
Zack, roll a perception check. You step out of the church.
Perception. There it is. 23.
See a cloaked figure just looking at you.
I'll even without the cloaked figure thing, I'm gonna give Todd a little whistle and a gesture to have him kind of follow Zack. You know, just in case.
Todd kind of growls.
I kind of...
You
Do I
see-
notice anything in particular about this hooded individual, or...
How nice is his cloak?
Yeah.
Not as nice as Lloyd's. Kind of ragged looking. It's kind of almost looks like he's old, like really old, but it looks like it's moving within his form. His hood is up. What? You see like a blue glow and a wicked like from his
hood, or...
yeah, like his eyes are just blue as glow, and you see it's like like they're glowing just enough to show you like the shadow out his nose, but you see the smile, and then you hear.
How far out of the church are they when this is happening?
What is Zack's vision? It's just outside his vision. It's like barely there, but he sees it's like a shadow standing in him.
Yeah. Well,
I'll say he has dark vision.
are like he and Todd still kind of like right outside the door though?
Yeah, they just stepped outside the door, and he's just out. He's just stares there.
All right. Do I hear Todd growling by any chance?
Yes.
All right.
I assume you would.
Yeah.
You hear crowd down.
All right. I'm gonna step outside. Do I see the figure as well?
You do not.
Interesting. I will. I'm gonna do a perception check though to see if I hear or smell anything unusual, because that'd be the first thing I'd do if Todd starts growling and I don't see anything.
Okay.
I crit.
Ooh. You smell just faintly, even with the crit. You smell. Has Johan ever been on a mountaintop?
That is a good question. Where would he have been? I imagine he would have done some climbing in the Valley Watch area.
You smell, like, would it be like the peak? Like, have you ever been, you smell something that smells like crisp frost. Like something, it's like pure cold. Like, but it's beyond something you've ever felt before. Like, it's so, like, such a strong scent. Like, it's pure just frost that you're smelling.
Like coldness, almost?
Yeah, like
Okay.
like if you ever went out in the morning and you just smelled like this tingle almost, but it smells like ice. That's what Johan smells.
Do I notice the individual doing anything?
He's just standing there.
All right, I guess I'll slowly approach him.
And as you approach him, someone like a wagon crosses your path and he's gone.
Oh, like it passes in front of me and then I don't see him anymore?
Yeah, and he's gone.
Gotcha.
And I'll just stop growling and the sentence gone.
I'll ask if Zack, did you see something?
But I saw a shadowy figure there, but Were you not able to see them?
No, I could detect something with my sense of smell, but it's gone now. Otherwise, if not for Todd, I wouldn't have known anything was wrong.
That kind of looks down and looks worried, and he's just like, I don't know what's happening to me right now. I keep seeing things or feeling things that are not normal for me. I don't understand what I'm seeing or feeling.
What you're going through isn't normal for you. This is a brand new experience. We just have to work through it one step at a time.
At that time, Dowroc is it's a tear in his eye, and he's kind of holding Bryn. He was probably crying profusely, and just I think it's time we get to bed.
Yeah. I don't want to be so optimistic as to say for sure, but maybe Zack. Maybe Zack. All you need is a good night's rest.
It's worth a shot, I guess. All right, so you guys go to the inn. Quick question, John. What do you need as a character, or however, to enhance your rod to make it like a +1? Like, do you have anything in mind, or? It's a custom weapon. That's why
I was thinking I could use kind of the same kind of stuff I could use as a focus for spells. Anyway, and like a new attunement period or something, maybe. So I don't know. I'd have to go buy some materials.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that you have time in this village or the town, so if you want to pursue that, you can, but that's up to you. If you'd like to or not.
I think I might as well. My melee damage feels like it's kind of fallen behind. So
you have 3 days until the tournament. Well, not. This is in addition to the 1 day you just had. You have 3 additional days. On the 4th day is the tournament, so you have 3 days in the town to do whatever you'd like for any of you. So,
all right, I'm
buying, selling, doing anything.
I'll go ahead and I'm gonna try to find some place in town to sell off my Pearl of Power for as much as I can get for it.
Okay.
And then I'll use that money. Maybe even a straight trade would work. Use that money for the materials I would need, and I'll just knock that out tonight then if I can.
Okay. So the blacksmith kind of takes a great liking to the Pearl of Power and makes you a trade of any of the supplies that you would need in order to enhance your item. He will trade you for the Pearl of Power.
There you go. So buy Pearl of Power. And then I'll go rent a roof and sit under the stars and swap out that for this.
Zack, during this time, is going to go down to like the dock area and just kind of be by the boats. And then, so Dowroc, what are you doing? I guess Dowroc and Bryn, I guess.
Well, Dowroc is going to go see if going to the Bracers Guild, and before that, he's going to dump out the bag of holding, and he's going to make sure that the mirror, Lloyd's mirror, the flail, and the mask aren't really conspicuous when he's dumping them out.
Okay.
And he's going to try to. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. He's going to be like just a Spartan 35 pounds of great axes. Balance those and walk up to the...
You said 5 of them?
Yeah, I've got 5 great axes.
The shop keeps sitting there like, why do you have so many great axes?
Minotaurs, man. Minotaurs.
Minotaurs, yeah. Okay, I get you.
I'm
So he
I'm gonna assume he doesn't actually get you, but you know.
no, not at all. So he gladly gives you. He's like, I can offer you 115 gold for the 5 of them.
3, 4, 5. 115.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's Tower's just gonna get like some of this, like tell him about the Armin. If Armin reported us to as helping him escort.
Oh, Rowan. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, the thief
Rowan.
dude.
Yeah.
The guy says, well, we have you down here for the thing, but he never reported a completion.
So, is there an order to this? If is it something I have to prove that we did this, or is it just how does the guild handle this kind of situation?
He just kind of looks at you and he's like, well, to be honest with you, we know Rowan around here. If you say you did it, I mean, I believe that you did it because nobody really wants to know that guy unless they have to. And so he kind of juggles around and takes out a little coin sack and then hands it to you and gives you 250 gold as a reward.
I appreciate you guys. You should definitely. I didn't think he was kind of a good person. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
And he says, oh yeah, he rubs everyone the wrong way, but I mean, funny enough, he does pay the guild a good amount of money for transport, so
Okay.
one of those odd things where, I mean, he's never done anything to hurt the guild, so we just kind of let it go by.
Hopefully he doesn't do anything to hurt the people outside the guild.
I don't think he will, but who knows with that guy. He's all in it for himself. What's going on, John? Something wrong?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. My shillelagh's interacting weird with the powered up rod, but I can keep it in mind. It'll be fine.
Oh, gotcha.
So everybody gets 38 gold and then 83 gold.
Okay.
33 and 83? Is that what you said?
It's 38. 115, you said, for the great axes?
Yep.
Be 38 and 83.